The history of America can be seen through the eyes of baseball. Go West, young man wasn't just a phrase related to the western expansion of the United States, but a value that held true for entrepreneurs and the development of modern baseball as well. The Giants and Dodgers moved out west from New York in the late 1950s. This required changes to the schedule, additional night games, and transit concerns. First-class travel and accommodations had to become the norm in professional sports and everyday life. Six-time All-Star pitcher for the Braves and Giants, Johnny Antonelli, details how getting from one city to the next on the train in the late 40s and 50s changed to the air travel we know today, thus allowing American life to grow as well.
I thought difficult because, and I wasn't that bad. I was 6'1" in those days. I'm now about 5'11" and 3/4. But some of our players were taller. Now they had to sleep corner to corner, and of course you heard every da-dum, da-dum, da-dum when the train was going, and I don't think we ever got much sleep. Yeah, that was it. But we enjoyed it because we had our own dining car, and the food was always very good. And we went first class in that respect. In 1953, we were the first team to fly. We flew from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh on a Viscount Capital Airlines plane, and everyone was scared to death. We're on an airplane, the whole team on the airplane. So we did that, and that was the first flight. And then, of course, when the West Coast came into it, we had to fly. Sal Magli didn't fly on the East Coast, but he would fly. Davy Williams and Whitey Lockman, none of them liked to fly, but they had to fly to the West Coast. We only had 600,000 attendees in those days, and the people were all still standing there and wondering why we were leaving, but if they had come to the ballpark, we wouldn't have had to leave. And of course, Horace Stoneham, that was his income. I mean, he was not a multi-millionaire like we have today or billionaire. Baseball was his life. And Fred Sy was the same way with the Cardinals. So he was looking for money. So I was told that the Dodgers went first. They left, and Walter O'Malley called Horace. This is what I was told, and said, we could still have our rivalry. You go to San Francisco, and I'll go to Los Angeles, and the rest is history. Well, I love the city. I didn't know much about the weather, but and we got into Seal Stadium. That's where Joe DiMaggio made all of it. I think he had 70-some-odd straight games one time, and there was some history here that we knew. And we were leaving, of course, New York, and I liked New York only because I was so lucky there. And but we knew about San Francisco. It's a beautiful city, and we really liked it. And it looked like we were going to do well. But of course, with a 23,000-seat ballpark, you knew you weren't going to go crazy. But we still drew over 1 million people, 1.2 million, I think, which was very, very good. And we had a pretty good ball club in those days, and should have won the pennant that year. And unfortunately, we didn't.
Expanded air travel permitted relocation of storied franchises to the West Coast. The move was a huge success, with the Dodgers drawing 78,672 fans for their first game in Los Angeles in 1958. As teams saw the immediate benefits of the way America now traveled by air, teams now known as the Kansas City Royals, Oakland Athletics, Atlanta Braves, Texas Rangers, Seattle Mariners, and Minnesota Twins all found new homes and have been thriving since. U.S. History, as seen through the eyes of baseball, brought to you by AmericanInnings.org.